paleo diet, also known as the caveman diet, has recently gained a lot of popularity. It's in magazines, on TV, and a lot of news reporters have spoken about it. And celebrities also are joining in on this diet as well. It is called the caveman diet because the idea is to go back to what our ancestors ate in the caveman era, and what they mostly ate was meats, vegetables, fruits, nuts, and seeds. So they would cut out all processed food, sugar, alcohol, grains, legumes, and dairy. So, no peanut butter, no milk, ice cream, none of that stuff. And the typical breakdown would be about 30% from protein, 30% from fat, and then 40% of your calories from carbohydrates. And the fat intake is higher than typical for the American dietetics recommend. And the carbs would mostly be consumed from fruits and vegetables. And if you were an athlete and you were on the paleo diet, then it would be recommended to eat white potatoes, or more specifically sweet potatoes. But most paleo do not eat potatoes because for the starches. And really, why should you eat this way is because our bodies aren't meant to digest grains and dairy. A lot of people believe that it messes up with your digestion. It blocks important enzymes that your stomach creates, and so it's become a lot of question whether or not really grains and dairy are as bad as paleo followers say they are. So the question is paleo a fad diet, or is it really something that everybody should be eating? And that's something that I researched. So after doing my research and looking at the pros and the cons, I found that there were, some good and some bad at both sides, and in general, society as a whole does eat too much processed food and sugar and alcohol. So it would be a good idea to take that idea from paleo and use it in everyday life. But at the same time, you look at legumes and grains and dairy, and research has shown that it's very beneficial. The dairy, it helps a lot with strengthening bones, and there is also vitamin D in there. And then as for legumes and grains, they've shown to decrease heart disease, heart attack, stroke. So, but it's important to choose the correct grains. You don't choose the processed like white bread in the store. Rather, you choose the whole grains. The whole grain bread, or the quinoa, barley, bulgur, all the whole nutrient dense grains. And then not only do they taste good, but they're also full of nutrients and fiber, which helps a lot with the body in general. And then also, what a lot of paleo followers do is they eat protein. But too much protein can lead to stress on the kidneys, and the kidneys are responsible for filtering waste products. So if they do eat too much protein, then they damage the kidneys. It can lead to ketosis, and also one Harvard study showed the effects of a low-carb, high-protein diet. And while there was rapid weight loss, what also happened was there was an increase in atherosclerosis, which leads to plaque in the arteries and leads to heart attack or stroke. So there is that important factor to look at. And also when you eat meat on a paleo diet, it's important to choose the correct meats. So you're not eating bacon and roast beef and the fatty cuts of meat, but you choose lean meats and because that could lead to saturated fat built up in the arteries and then lead to heart disease. So overall, there's the good and the bad. So what I think people should do is to look at the paleo diet and just take some ideas and use it in their daily lives. So, don't eat the processed food, don't eat the sugar and the alcohol as much as people are these days. But at the same time, drink a glass of milk, have some toast or something like that, and just not eat the processed junk that people are eating today, but eat clean, eat healthy, and then I think that America as a whole would become more healthy.